What's going on? Joe Biden on the Morning Joe, exclusive interview this morning. Take you through some of the questions. Quote, did you sexually assault Tara Reade? He said, no, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally it never happened. She said, the interviewer asked, do you remember her? Do you remember any type of complaint she might have made? He says, I don't remember any type of complaint she may have made. I don't know. This whole thing is it's sketchy on both sides. You don't know who to believe. And it's been so many years since when this apparently happened. It's like you wonder why they would wait so long to review it. So I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me in that regard. But who am I to say what happened or didn't happen? Hold on, I want to give you guys like a full rundown here. So he's on the Morning Joe right now. The interview is live. I'll get you guys the link in just a second. But Joe Biden, man, coming out and unequivocally denying that anything happened. So these sexual harassment allegations. So yeah, he released a full statement. Now he's on right now with Tara Reade. I mean, not excuse me. The Tara Reade is the accuser. He's on with the Morning Joe right now on MSNBC, and he's done a full-out denial of anything happening. Which I think there's I mean, people could argue anything that he's done. Could it be any worse than what Trump's done? I mean, honestly, for being real for a second. But I think this is probably his only move. I mean, he's not going to come out on there and admit he did it, because I think that would just destroy his whole campaign. So we'll always have to wonder what he did or didn't do. But I think, do you take him at his word? That's up to every person to decide for themselves. But there's definitely a lot to on both sides. I mean, it's been so many years. It's been over 25 years or whatever exactly it's been since this happened. Why does the person wait till now? I guess because he's running for president. Is she looking for a money grab? Is she looking for a book deal? I don't know exactly everything that's going on here. So quotes Joe Biden from the interview. No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally it never happened. It never happened. And it didn't. It never happened. This is an open book. There's nothing for me to hide. Nothing at all. Let's get you some more quotes here. The whole thread from the interview, so I'll give you all the quotes that I see as Joe Biden on the Morning Joe right now. It's an open book. It never happened. It unequivocally never happened, and it didn't. So yeah, Joe Biden on the Morning Joe right now. Give me your thoughts down below as we react live to a huge interview with Joe Biden denying any wrongdoing. And yes, this is Joe's response for what I'm reading you. He had a response written, and now I'm telling you his quotes from the actual interview on the Morning Joe happening right now. This is an open book. There's nothing for me to hide, nothing at all. So he also says he's requesting that the Secretary of State ask the archives to identify any record of the complaint she alleges she filed, and make available to the press any such document. So there you go. He says, no, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally it never happened, and it didn't. It never happened. That's what he is saying, released right now. So, yeah. Denied the allegation unequivocally. I'll give you some more information right now. Former Vice President Joe Biden directly addressed the allegation that he sexually assaulted former aide Tara Reade for the first time Friday, telling MSNBC's Morning Joe that I'm saying unequivocally that it never happened. It didn't. It never happened. End quote. Quote, I don't remember any kind of complaint she could have made. It was 27 years ago. Biden said the former vice president also said his campaign had not been in contact with Reade. That's what I was thinking. It's been 27 years. Like, how do you come out now and say that? I want to address allegations by a former staffer that I engaged in misconduct 27 years ago. They aren't true. This never happened. Quote, responsible news organizations should examine and evaluate the full and growing record of inconsistencies in her story, which has changed repeatedly in both small and big ways. Quote, I'm not going to question her motive. I don't know why she's saying this. Biden told MSNBC, I don't understand why after 27 years this gets raised. She has a right to say whatever she has to say, but I have a right to say, check it out. There is a clear, critical part of the story that can be verified. The former staffer has said she filed a complaint back in 1993, but she does not have a record of this alleged complaint. There is only one place a complaint of this kind can be, the National Archives. The National Archives is where the records are kept at what was then called the Office of Fair Employment Practices. I'm requesting that the Secretary of State ask the archives to identify any record of the complaint she alleges she filed and make available to the press any such document. If there was ever any such complaint, the the record will be there. Quote, I'm confident there's nothing, Biden told MSNBC. No one that I'm aware of in my Senate office at the time is aware of any such a request or complaint, and so I'm not worried about it at all. If there's a complaint, that's where it would be. So Biden, a full-out denial this morning on the Morning Joe, happening right now. So very, very fascinating to say the least. I want you guys to react live as this breaking, developing story is unfolding before our very eyes, and appreciate all of you stopping by right now. Much appreciated. Crazy, crazy world we're living in. The coronavirus pandemic and election year. So it's a lot to take in right now. But Joe Biden pretty confident when he says that he's a full denial. So give me your thoughts, guys, as we break this down live for all of you on the show. Full out denial, flat out denial from Joe Biden. So you can take that for what you wish, but I'm gonna roll, man. It's been 27 years. He's probably right, but never quite know, so it's tough. Exactly, but yeah, you guys give me your thoughts down below. We do the quotes one more time from Joe Biden himself, from the horse's mouth. Complaint she could have made. It was 27 years ago. Um, Responsible news organizations should examine and evaluate the full and growing record of inconsistencies in her story, which has changed repeatedly in both small and big ways. I'm not going to question her motive. I don't know why she's saying this. I don't understand why after 27 years this gets raised. She has a right to say whatever she has to say, but I have a right to say, check it out. There is only one place a complaint of this kind could be, the National Archives. The National Archives is where the records are kept at what was then called the Office of Fair Employment Practices. I'm requesting that the Secretary of State ask the archives to identify any record of the complaint she alleges she filed and make available to the press any such document. If there is ever any such complaint, the record will be there. Alrighty, guys. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. The breaking news interview with Joe Biden on Morning Joe regarding the terror allegations.